to the Field of Dreams.
And what an absolute majestic venue to play a game of baseball.
This is what you dream of, right?
The one constant has been baseball.
From Dyersville, Iowa, it's the Philadelphia Phillies and the Minnesota Twins. What a way to open the ball game!
Keyshaw rattles the tassels.
9 strikeouts for Aaron Nola, and that one goes! Couple of homers for Kyle Schwarber, and it's a night that the Phillies won't soon forget.
We were really excited about this and fun to be able to walk out with the win.
Just a remarkable night. We'll see you next season.
From the cinematic cornfields of Iowa back to the heart of Minneapolis, the Twins return to Target Field to continue the homestand and the series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Hi everyone, welcome back to Twins TV. I'm Audra Martin. While the outcome wasn't what the Twins were hoping for, Thursday's Field of Dreams game was an experience that the players, the staff, even the fans won't soon forget. It's an incredibly special day from start to finish, no matter the final score. The Twins and Phillies matchup was just the 3rd game ever played at the iconic site of the classic 1989 film. And from the storied walk through the cornfields, the picturesque backdrops, surreal was a word that was used a ton this afternoon. We saw the return of Byron Buxton, home runs into the corn, and Royce Lewis was mic'd up for it all.
They call me Dos Zero Quattro. Check 1, 2. The Lewis, it's Royce Lewis. Go! Oh! Come on, baby! Yeah! Adios, pelota! I think I heard Keith say that ball was perfectly spun. That ball's got to be 10 rows deep.
10 rows of corn.
It ended up being a beautiful day, man. Just happy to be here doing it, dude.
Well, the Phillies may have taken game 1, but the Twins are back in the comforts of home looking for a little payback. First pitch from Target Field comes your way next.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit Progressive.com. And by Ford. Visit local.ford.com or your local Northland Ford dealer today. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive. Beautiful look at Target Field as this 3-team homestand continues. Orioles, Phillies, and the Braves all coming to town. And Byron Buxton back in center field here at Target Field for the first time since July 28th. Activated off the injury list before the game on Thursday. Don Mattingly took over as the interim manager in late April. And the Phillies right now 65-58, second place in the National League East, behind the front-running Atlanta Braves. And the 4 batting order tonight for the Phillies, 17th in baseball, averaging 4.4 runs per game, but some all-star talent at the top and a ton of power. Of course, Kyle Schwarber leading the way, 37 home runs. That leads baseball right now with Turner, Harper, former Twin. There he is, Luis Arraez. Acquired from the Giants at the trade deadline, a 4-time All-Star batting cleanup with Bohm, Sosa, Stott, Real Muto behind the plate, and Derek Hill in center field. That's the group that Connor Prelip will see tonight morning. His numbers are brought to you by CarShield.
Took the no decision last time out in Milwaukee through 5 innings and matched his career high just in the big leagues this year, 82 2/3. Still has plenty of room for growth, but that slider has been a big swing and miss weapon for him, both to the righties and lefties. Able to get chase with that. Being able to work consistently with his fastball and get some swing and miss is going to be important for him to set up everything else, but it really relies on that slider being his elite offering, that he's able to generate the strikeouts and miss bats when he needs to.
How about the Twins defensively behind Connor tonight?
We got Austin Martin. This is right-handed heavy as this lineup can get. Martin, and good to see Buck back at center, Keyshaw on right, Brooks Lee at third, Culpepper at short, Kreidler making his first start of the year at second base, Royce Lewis at first, and Jeffers behind the plate doing the catching.
Ryan Kreidler at second base, first start at second this season. Played a game or two at AAA as the second baseman with Culpepper at short. And that pairing is back together in the big leagues here tonight. Prelip to Schwarber, and the first pitch is grounded to the right side. And Kreidler right on cue makes the play. One pitch, one swing, and Schwarber, who blasted a leadoff homer on Thursday, is retired, so one down. And here comes Trey Turner. But first, we take a look at our keys to the game, as always brought to you by Toyota.
Yeah, score first. Twins obviously better when you do that. Sweep and slide. Both starters. Elite breaking balls. Best swing and miss pitch. It's going to be a matter of who spins it the best, who's able to work ahead in the count. Very hard to get big league hitters to chase when they're in control of the at-bat. So 2 first pitch strikes to start, a good sign. See how he navigates this tough Philly lineup.
0-1 to Turner. Is set foul. Turner led the National League in batting last season, hitting .304, hitting .315 here in the month of August. 33 years old. 5th oldest roster in all of baseball. Philadelphia Phillies. And at the knees, and strike 3 on a slider. 2 down.
So many of his sliders with 2 strikes end up down and in as chase pitches for those right-handed hitters. Not sure if Turner kind of had that in the back of his mind, assuming this ball was going to end up below the zone, but pretty able to land it right at the knees.
2 down for Bryce Harper. He does swing at the first pitch at a high rate. 25 homers for the 2-time MVP, 9-time All-Star. He's reached base safely in 18 straight games as Preela misses high at 97, 4-1. Harper has been dealing with a sore left knee. Began the year playing first base, but with the addition of Luis Ariz, Harper now playing right field. For the first time since he was with the Nationals. Let me add one more key, Toyota key to the game. It's this. How about avoiding allowing a first inning run? The Twins have allowed 10 first inning runs over the last 13 games. So let me clean that up a little bit. The Twins have allowed a first inning run, not 10, but a first inning run in 10 of their last 13 games.
Putting a lot of pressure on your offense to play from behind early in ball games.
Just always playing from behind. It's like, all right, you have a game plan, but then before you know it, you're playing catch up.
Well, it also allows that opposing starting pitcher to kind of settle in and figure out what he's got working that day, as opposed to feeling like he's doesn't have that little bit of wiggle room right from the start.
3-2.
So it's essential. I think it's obviously for a young pitcher against a veteran lineup like this as well, to be able to go out there and walk off that mound throwing up a 0 in the first. Got a lot to pitch deep into this ball game.
Harper batting 197 with 4 homers, lefty on left. Now, Prelup, since the All-Star break, he's made 3 starts, ERA in the high 3s. Again, the 3-2 to Harper. He struck him out at 97 upstairs. So Connor Prelup with a 1-2-3 first, striking out a pair. Derek Shelton and the Twins 13-24 so far against the American League this season, but his team has won 6 straight series at home, and the Twins batting order here tonight on this home Saturday, as Morty mentioned, it is all righties or switch hitters tonight, with Martin, Buxton, and Jeffers at the top. Royce Lewis, despite his 0-for-4 on Thursday, great numbers here in the month of August. Josh Bell, Luke Keyshaw, Brooks Lee, Ryan Kreidler, and Culpepper is batting 9th. Jesus Luzardo is on the mound for the Phillies, an all-star, and deservedly so this summer.
And if you're Derek Shelton making out a lineup today, as much as you want to have your lefties in there, especially Clemens and Larnach, with the damage they've done, it was a pretty easy decision. Lefties hitting well under 200. But it's the sweeper. It's good to both sides. That's the difference maker for him.
Ball to left field and deep. On the move goes Sosa. Oh, there slides, and that's going to be a fair ball. That's going to find the left field wall. Austin Martin will stay put. At a 4-hit game against the Orioles, and a good start with a leadoff double to begin play tonight.
5 straight hits, and we talked about going back to his last game, but we talked about Twins playing from in front, scoring first, winning record there. Nice job by Austin Martin hitting this down towards the end of the bat just a little bit, but in a perfect spot. Sosa was going after it, thought he had a chance, and then this ball just kept having a little bit of late hook. Thought maybe he'd leave his feet. He didn't. That sets up a run scoring opportunity for Buxton.
So here is Byron back here at Target Field. Activated before the game on Thursday. 1 for 4, did double. The Cornfields in Dyersville on Thursday night. 1 for 5, 4 strikeouts lifetime against Luzardo. Luzardo, by the way, is not allowed a first inning earned run all year. The Twins are poised to change that. So Martin get ahead. Now Byron Morney doing the same.
We were talking about before we came on the air. I said, oh, it sounds like a 3 spot then. I think they'd be happy with starting with 1 and going from there, but Buck's got himself in a hitter's count. See if they challenge him here. 2-0 changeup. He's got that as well to neutralize the right-handed hitters. It's a good mix. Runners in scoring position, he relies a little more heavily on that sweeper, but the stuff is elite. He's kind of put it all together. He's having a fantastic year.
Martin stays, and the 2-1, and strike 2 on Byron. Still sitting on 25 home runs. Has not homered over his last 15 games. That's his longest home run drought this season. It's been 63 plate appearances since his last home run. Got him. And there's that sweeper. We talked about it at the top. That is a go-to swing and miss weapon that Luzardo has.
And it's hard. I mean, he's coming at you. He backed up the previous one, and this one had that shape that he's able to generate so many swings and misses with. It's in the zone a long time. It starts on the outside corner. You think it's going to be there. It just disappears below your barrel.
So one away for Ryan Jeffers. Pickoff play at second, and Martin is back in. Now Jeffers had 2 hits. The loss on Thursday night. Twins went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position in the 7-1 loss. Foul off the net at 97. Great numbers lifetime. Jeffers against the Phillies. 0-2. Now Luzardo tonight is competing at Target Field for the first time ever. Twins saw him as an A in 2021, as a Marlin in 2023, both on the road.
I might prefer him to see him in his home ballpark 6-0 on the road this year. ERA just over 2. You look at, there's a lot of good numbers across the board for a guy having an all-star season.
You mentioned his road ERA. It's the lowest road ERA by any Philly starter since Cole Hamels in 2014. And strikes out Jeffers. Back ankle sweeper in the high 80s. So Martin has the move. 2 down. It's up to Royce.
It's just he throws it so hard. A ball that moves that much, it's typically in that 83-mile-an-hour range. The guy's up to 85, but you know it's coming, and that'll tell you how good it is. You expect it at some point in the at-bat. It's just so hard to lay off of it.
Great article came out a few days ago in Fangraphs by Jack Martin talking about Luzardo and this power sweeper that he throws. The average sweeper velocity is really in the low 80s. Now, talking about a pitch that for the norm is around 82, 83, but Luzardo and also Cleveland's Gavin Williams, they're beginning to separate themselves with their peers by throwing that pitch harder. And since 2024, he's getting almost 9 inches more of break, throwing it on average with 3 more miles of velocity than he did just 2 years ago.
It's amazing the way pitchers have been able to figure out the best way to take advantage of their stuff, their ability to spin the baseball, to continue to add velocity but still be accurate with that pitch, to be able to still throw it in the zone when you need to, and then throw it for chase when you need to not lose anything by adding miles an hour to that pitch is really impressive. And I think that's really why he's taken a step forward. The stuff was always there. Now he's just continuing to refine it.
And he's got that, too. It's not just a chase. He throws it in the zone, so the leadoff double for Martin, but Luzardo strikes out 3 in a row.
With Byron Buxton being the extra man for Thursday's game in Iowa, the Twins had to make a move for the 26-man roster this afternoon, designating Alex Jackson for release or assignment. Derek Shelton said that was a really tough decision and conversation because of who Jackson is as a person, what he meant to the clubhouse, and because he's just done a really good job despite the limited playing time and having to learn a new position over there at first base. But ultimately, he said right now where they are roster-wise, it was just becoming too difficult to carry 3 catchers. So tough move to have to say goodbye and designate Alex Jackson, but good to see Byron Buxton back officially, guys.
Audra, thank you. And Lisa Rise back here at Target Field where he became a star. Now with the Phillies, acquired from the Giants, and Rise now in 11 games with the Phillies. He's on base yet again. And 3 hits on Thursday and a leadoff knock here to start the second.
No surprise, left on left. His numbers are almost identical, whether it's a righty or lefty on the mound. Got himself a slider, hung a little bit, actually got jammed on that pitch. His approach, using the entire field, has led to him winning 3 batting titles and a chance to win a 4th this year.
Alec Bohm, first-round pick by the Phillies in 2018. He swings and hammers one high and deep to left center field. Martin on the move to the warning track, and that's going to stay off the base of the wall. A rise will be held. The throw comes in, cut off by Kreidler. And the Phillies in business here in the second. 2 on and nobody out.
Well, as good as it looked for the opportunity for the Twins to score first, leadoff double, nobody out, unable to advance that runner past second base. Now the Phillies put themselves in a spot for a big inning here. A sinker just kind of stayed right in the middle of the plate. Different part of the ballpark that might leave. And Austin Martin made a good effort at trying to run this thing down, but unable to come up with it. Now we'll see how often he goes to that slider. That pitch, especially with runners in scoring position, is able to generate most of the swing and miss.
Mundo Sosa left field tonight. Ball 1 on Sosa, born in Panama. Closing in on 6 years of service time with the Phillies and the Cardinals. Has 5 home runs this season. We'll see Brandon Marsh as the series continues. It's left-handed. So Marsh to start. Sosa's in left tonight. Infield about halfway.
Rise does have 10 stolen bases on the year, but they are playing a little deeper based on his sprint speed. Maybe trying to avoid the big inning in some ways, but
yeah, that's a 4-pitch walk. Freeland doesn't do that too often. So a big spot early tonight. Bases are loaded for left-handed hitting Bryson Stott. First-round pick in 2019. And Sosa sprints up the first base line, drawing the walk, and Stott, he has been scorching hot. Highest batting average in the game in the month of August, and Stott 381.
I think the challenge for Prelip, numbers actually better against righties than they have been against lefties. We saw the slider kind of hang in the zone to a Rise. He got a hit on that first pitch one there in the zone. Now is he able to get Stott to expand the strike zone off of that? And now you showed him one on the edge. Now it's either take a shot above the zone for a swing and miss, maybe come in off the plate to open up the outside corner, or do you just go to that one you're trying to bury down and away for the chase?
It's a good pitch. It's a better take, but a good competitive 0-2 breaking ball there.
Yeah, well executed. Followed up the 2 sliders with the curveball. A little different shape to this pitch. Takes a little bit off compared to that fastball. That's the thing. You show a hitter that you can land that pitch. You can throw it in the zone. Then they have to respect it, and then see if you can get him to expand. That one off the plate a little bit. Now maybe you take a shot with 95 above the zone just to give him a little different look. that sinker. I'm not sure if they wanted that down or up, but kind of a ball out of the hand. But you'd love to miss a bat here and then give yourself a shot at a double play next.
Real Muto on deck. Now the 2-2 pitch. Poke foul. On a slider.
I'd love to hear different pitchers' mentality on a situation like this of, am I thinking damage control? Am I trying to simplify it as much to just execute the next pitch? Am I not trying to pay attention to the bases loaded? I think simplifying it is usually the best way to go about things.
It was 0-2, now 3-2, and nowhere to put him. To Bryson Stott. There's Real Muto on deck.
I think this has got to be a slider with what he's been able to command in this at-bat. You see, Stott didn't completely trust it. Even though he's seen a bunch of sliders, he's also seen that sinker below, the four-seam above, but still just a little bit out front in battle mode. Swung at a pitch that was 2 or 3 inches off the plate. Very, very tough pitch to take.
Ninth pitch coming up. Prelup to Stott. Bases loaded, nobody out. We'll do it again.
Plenty of breaking stuff early. A couple of show me fastballs, and then that one right on the edge of the zone. If he can execute a sinker in, he could probably get some weak contact, but how much trust he has in that pitch at this point.
Up the first base line, but foul. Stott, a tough guy to strike out. Had a run this season of 48 straight plate appearances without striking out. It recently ended from July 28th till August 9th. Second longest such streak of his career. Also had one of 52 games back in 2024. 11th pitch coming up to Bryson Stott. Floated out to center and shallow. Buxton coming in. Byron makes the catch. Arise will tag and hold. Throw comes in, cut off by Royce, and there's one.
That was that fastball in on the hands that was talking about earlier in the at-bat. Of all the breaking stuff, you see him leaning a little bit, fouling off those borderline ones on the outside corner and away. It's hard to cover everything as a hitter. He had a great at-bat. Fouled off some tough pitches, but just not hit deep enough. And with Buck's arm and Arise's speed, you're not sending him there. Now you're hoping for a quick, maybe ground ball to third, a little 5-4-3 double play, something like that.
JT Real Muto. Re-up with the Phillies this offseason. 3-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove winning catcher. Hitless on this road trip so far that began in St. Louis. And continuing here to downtown Minneapolis, inside 2-0.
Oh, this is Jefferson Prelup. Got to find something that he feels comfortable he can land for a quality strike against these right-handed hitters.
Chokes up a bit on the bat. Out to center, deep and playable. Buxton the catch. Arise will tag and score. So 1 in, 2 out. As Bohm makes third, it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
Oh, count leverage. Fell behind in the count, got into a situation with the bases loaded. He had to throw something over a plate. Real Muto, being the veteran he is, does his job, make sure he gets one home. But if you're able to limit the damage, only give up 1 run, bases loaded, nobody out, you walk off feeling pretty good about where you're at.
Run expectancy closer to really 2.5 runs. Bases loaded, nobody out. So yeah, that'd be a win here in some ways for Prelup and the Twins. Not there yet. Veteran Derek Hill swings early. Former Tiger, formerly with the White Sox. That's 9th here tonight as he tracks strike 1. Hill acquired by the Phillies from Chicago. The White Sox on June 11th. He was a first-round pick by the Tigers back in 2014. Phillies offense. It's a high strikeout, low walk team with power.
Be careful. 0-2, 2 outs here. Watching that runner take off first move, possibly if the Phillies put something on here.
Stay, and that's right down the middle, locking up Hill on a slider. So in the end, Prelove able to limit the damage. The Phillies loaded the bases, nobody out, score just the 1 run. Third strikeout for Prelove. Twins coming up in the second, down 1.
Work tomorrow.
Welcome back. The Twins and United Healthcare are proud to partner. United Healthcare Community Champions program. Each Saturday home game will honor individuals who inspire positive change across Twins territory. And tonight, we are proud to welcome Rachel Stewart. Rachel created an innovative youth program and summer camp for North Minneapolis students to create experiences through enriching activities. You can nominate future champions at twins.com/community champions, and we congratulate Rachel Stewart. 1-0 Philly. It'll be Bell, Keyshaw, and Lee coming up. Josh has reached base safely in 17 straight games. So after Austin Martin's leadoff double against Luzardo, he then buckled down. He threw 13 pitches, 11 strikes, striking out Buxton, Jeffers, and Lewis consecutively. Tries to backdoor that sweeper, stayed away, 3-2, and this is where Bell has been living here lately. So many 3-2 counts to Josh Bell.
It's just the veteran presence in the middle of the lineup. One of the Twins hitters with experience against Luzardo as well. He does have a home run in his matchups, but sets the tone so many ways for this team.
Out to right, and Bryce Harper coming in from the sunshine to the shade. He's got it, 1 away. Keyshaw coming up, and for more on the Twins right fielder, here's Audrey.
Guys, it's been a huge month so far for Luke Keyshaw, also known as today's birthday boy and our Blue Moon bright spot. He has a 324 clip, 622 slug, and a 1056 OPS so far in August. But you could go back even further. His OPS through June was 645, but since July 1st, it's up to 962. Only Stephen Kwan has a bigger jump than Keyshaw in that span. And Derek Shelton says right now we're seeing the consistency, the quality at bats that he's always been capable of. But for Shelty, the biggest thing lately is that he's also had some big hits to the opposite field the last few weeks. He said as he continues to go, I think we're going to start seeing him able to drive the ball more in the middle of the field, and that is big, especially for a guy like Keyshaw. Great to see the numbers continue to climb here for the Twins.
Out to right, Harper playing in, going back, and won't get it over his head. Keyshaw, no helmet, will make second base. And there's that opposite field swing right on cue, Audra. And a 1-out double from Keyshaw.
You're right on cue. And Harper playing a little shallower than most in right field here. I don't know if it had anything to do with the wind. Flags blowing hard in from right. Also, right hit it up there. But Twins with another runner in scoring position. You're right. You can say it about almost any hitter. When they're using the entire field, they become much more difficult to pitch to. And Harper back in right field after the trade of Arise. Some infield shuffling. One over his head. See if the Twins can take advantage and find a way to tie this thing up.
The Twins have 2 hits off Luzardo, 2 doubles. See if they can cash in now. Some sunshine, and with that, Morty.
Shadows. Look like they impacted the outfielders more than the hitters at this point.
Challenge here from Yo Muto. He is very good. He is winning 78% of his challenges. League average for catchers around 60. Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. Yeah, he doesn't lose too often.
I don't think he's going to miss that one either. How do they go back foot? Sweeper here, like we highlighted at the top of the show, and we highlighted in that last inning.
And so we've seen 4th strikeout for Luzardo, and there are 2 down.
All on the sweeper, 3 of them swinging, 1 of them looking. Interesting also, you know, you get a pitcher who hasn't given up a run in the first, all of a sudden he dialed in. The spin rate on all of his pitches way up in the first inning. Don't know if it had anything to do with the humidity, maybe getting a little better grip tonight, but they're getting the elite stuff early in this ball game. As he gets better with runners in scoring position, gets nastier, he throws that sweeper more. Also has an understanding that if the hitter can't put the ball in play, there's no chance of that run scoring. So his ability to work ahead and then get the hitter to chase, he's been able to take advantage of that. Challenge. Nope.
Going to the count to Kreidler. 1 for 8 so far on this homestand.
I was going to say, if I was a bet man after that fastball in, I'd be betting back foot sweeper. But he's got weapons. He's also got a changeup that he can generate some swing and miss with as well. A fastball that he can run up there 99 miles an hour, top of the zone. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball. This is not an easy matchup. You just have such a deep rotation.
And there's the changeup. So Kreidler strikes out, and the Twins strand Keyshaw with second. Let's go back to the Field of Dreams game on Thursday night. Kyle Schwarber got ahead of Taj Bradley to begin the game, and the leadoff home run wasn't done. And later, Keyshaw could not complete that catch. Tipped over the wall for his second homer. And the Phillies, as a team, hit 3 and won the game on Thursday 7-1. Schwarber and Aaron Judge, the only players with multi-homer games so far. Field of Dreams site in Dyersville, Iowa.
Got to see both of those games, and unfortunately one came against the Twins, but he's not the only one. The amount of home runs he's hit over the last few years, it's incredible.
It looked like he went, and he did go. 1-2 on Schwarber, who first played at Target Field while he was in college at Indiana University. Big Ten championship was won right here. Schwarber was a catcher in college, as Prela misses away at 97. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, wonder why he's been a lead hitter. Lefties, righties, actually been better against lefties. Doesn't chase as much against lefties. Lower strikeout rate against lefties.
It's amazing what has happened to the Phillies since the Authorized trade, not just in terms of defense and guys moving around, but also lineup construction. And Schwarber strikes out on a slider up in the zone. So Prelip now has struck out 4. And Schwarber's 0 for 2. But look at the era that we're living in right now in baseball. Schwarber batting leadoff and Luis Arraez batting cleanup.
Yes.
Right?
But in a lot of ways, you can see how it makes a ton of sense. You have traffic on base with all those veteran guys hitting in front of them. Why not have a contact guy up there that you know has the lowest strikeout rate in the league? He's going to put the ball in play. He's going to have a chance to drive in runs. It makes sense, and if you look at it, completely different than the way it always was. But
Mike Petriello of MLB.com had a great story earlier this month about arguing the pros and cons with this new Phillies lineup. And yes, there is plenty of randomness with runners in scoring position. As Turner strikes out, so 3 straight strikeouts now for Prelip. And there are 2 down. We'll get back to that conversation here momentarily. But first, let's revisit Prelip facing Harper. Morty back in the first inning.
Yeah, keep an eye on this. I know it's only 2 games for us that we get to broadcast, but a lot of fastballs up, trying to get them up in the zone, up above the zone, see if they stick with that plan. Eventually able to end that at bat with a fastball at 97 right on that top rail. But that's a hard pitch for any hitter to get to. Let's see if that's by design over the next 2 games, and that's continued to where they try to attack him.
And after him there at 97. So Prelup, he's matching Luzardo so far. Each left-handed starter with 5 strikeouts. One and two.
That's the one where they don't want that pitch to end up, I think. Curveball in the zone a long time. Fortunately, did get to the bottom of the zone, but wouldn't be surprised now to see him just go right back up top, try and get a chase above the zone or that slider down and away. Both of these guys, I mean, think of a time, even 10 years ago, if you had 2 starting pitchers matching up that were sitting at 97, 98 mile an hour with their fastball. It is crazy where pitching is at in today's game.
Pulled the other way and fair inside the line. Harper will test that sore knee, trying for 2. The throw to second base. The tag, and he's out. Austin Martin tracking that ball down on the run. Fed Kryler at second base, and Harper will end the inning. No challenge from Don Mattingly. So went the other way, made contact, was thinking 2. Again, he's not at 100%, dealing with a sore knee. But Martin with the charge and the throw, and then Kryler applying the tag. Ending the inning, and already tonight's unreal defensive play of the game. So Kryler with a stretch and the tag, and with that, the inning is over. Phillies lead by 1, bottom 3 coming up. But first, we keep it here for tonight's Twins Insider, and the Twins content team put together a really fun recap of the Field of Dreams game. Enjoy this exclusive look from the other night.
Sometimes that when we get caught up in our day-to-day, that we realize how important days like this are.
Yeah, for me, there's only so many moments in your career that stand out as something different than what you do every day. And coming next to the movie set, you know, it's just something different and something cool and unique, and it gets you back to your roots. It feels like a little bit of, like you said, why and how you fell in love with the game.
To be able to come here and play in this game is something special for me, especially with my family. It's the first time I've been on this side of the aisle, first time I even seen the Field of Dreams in person. So to have my family be able to experience that with me, it makes it that much more special, for sure. I don't know how to put it into words. It's something that you can't describe. I know for him, just going out there playing catch with him, he don't show it, but that was probably one of the happiest moments of his life.
Doesn't get much better than this. What do you think, Gardy?
To see, you know, people out there with their families. I mean, for me, I'm 56 years old, but I got to play catch with my dad on the field here. Like, you can't have those moments, and I think it's really important.
That was great. Well done from the Twins content team. And Kalen Culpepper. Hard contact, but on the ground. Retired by Bryson Stock. So 1 away here in the home third. Phillies on top 1-0. See Buxton, by the way, early in his pro career, played in Cedar Rapids with the Colonels back in 2013. Did I tell you that I met Derek Shelton's dad, the other Ron Shelton? I met him at the game. Interesting conversation we had. Went to the men's room.
Just hanging out.
About to wash my hands, and this guy says, "Hey, Corey." I said, "Sir, I would love to shake your hand, but first, let me wash my hands." This gentleman, Ron Shelton. Derek's dad. So I apologize. I said, "I really want to meet you. I want to talk. Just give me a few minutes, wash my hands, and then let's chat." And we did. We had a great time. Very proud father.
Very cool to see him out there playing catch. Shelty said he throws better than I do. He threw to a buck 7 days earlier, and he was still sore. Yeah, I think fathers and sons in baseball, kids baseball. I got to play catch with my daughter on that field the last time I went down there. It really was something special.
6th strikeout for Luzardo. We both had a chance to experience the magic, and there you are, Morty, with your son Marty. And that guy on the left, okay, that's Joe. Yeah, I was there with my son. There he is. There's the Coup Band. We had a great time. Joe Jackson on the left, Eddie Seacott on the right. Looking great all these years later.
It's just, you know, when you're young and you're drawn to baseball, and then there's movies that kind of further engage you. That's one of those movies that kind of nostalgia and everything else. And then how often you get to go and experience that movie in real life, and then share it with family members, all that kind of stuff. It was such a good night for the game of baseball, and something that, yes, I'm sure the players are glad that it's over and get back into the routine, but also glad that they got to be a part of it and experience it all.
The Red Sox and the Royals will have that honor next season. Everybody was so nice down there. The folks that work at the stadium and the grounds, so hospitable, and highly recommended for a big league game. Anything, just to take a family trip to Dyersville, you will not be disappointed. 3-1 in Byron. Struck out swinging in the first. A 1-run game. And there's ball 4. What did you make of Buck in his first game back? Did not rehab. Just how he was moving around offensively, defensively back on Thursday night.
He looked good as sitting up there as a fan watching him play, and nothing like watch him around the bases like he did on that double. He was really close on a couple pitches, looked comfortable in the outfield. Looks like he's able to get into his lower half a little bit more.
Jeffers slams one in the air to left, but this will stay in the yard for Sosa right near the warning track. And that is out number 3. Phillies maintain the lead. Field of Dreams. Hey, Dad, want to have a catch? You bet, Coop. There we were Thursday in Dyersville. What's up, bud? Love you. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by your local Toyota dealers and by Thrivent, where finances and generosity are the ultimate double play. Beautiful target field, and Luis Arise will lead things off for the Phillies. Singled and scored the lone run so far tonight. It'll be Arise, Bohm, and Sosa against Connor Prelip. Struck out 5 so far through 3.
I think part of the Arise hitting 4th, I know it's probably only the first time through the order, it just happened the second time through the order, but also the way he gets on base, the way he battles through at bats. If you go 1, 2, 3 in the first, he's also setting the table for that second inning if he's coming up.
Nice pick there by Lewis, and to the bag. 1 down.
Oh, solid contact here. Nice shot by Royce. I say first base is a one-handed position most of the time, and high hop with a little topspin coming off. It's a nice job of staying through that ball. He has adjusted really well to playing first base.
Ball 1 to Alec Bohm. Doubled and was left at third base in the second. But I think it's a good conversation to go back to about Arise, batting cleanup. And getting back to this article from Mike Petriello, the highest batting average with runners in scoring position by any one player, beginning in 2021, including this year, belongs to the guy right there, hitting .348. Freddie Freeman next on that list. Xavier Edwards, Aaron Judge, Bo Bichette. Then Bobby Witt Jr. So there is some randomness to runners in scoring position and how successful you are individually. But when you're the best in the game, and you have been now for many years, you're looking to add to that by driving in your teammates.
I mean, I know I got a lot of pet peeves.
Okay.
But saying there's no difference hitting with runners in scoring position, to me, usually comes from someone who has never hit with runners in scoring position. That's not towards you or anyone else. It's industry as a whole saying, oh, it's just product of opportunity, all of those things. As we're interrupted by this double by Bohm right here. But yes, it's hard to drive in a lot of runs if you don't have a lot of runners in scoring position, but they also pitch differently when you hit with runners in scoring position. If you hit in the middle of the lineup, towards the top of the lineup, more opportunities you're going to have. So also there's more chance for things that don't happen as well. And you'll see it. And then all those names you mentioned some of the most elite players in all the game of baseball. So they're good with runners in scoring position or not, but they're the guys who are collecting the big paychecks. They're the guys who are getting paid a lot of money to drive in those runs, and they've been more than successful in those situations. The same reason Joe's a Hall of Famer. His numbers with runners in scoring position are absolutely ridiculous, better than his numbers without anybody on or not in those situations. So as much as we talk about, okay, there's not much to it, or it's a product of opportunity, all those things, there is something about being able to hit with runners in scoring position, and the elite players are the elite players because of that. You mentioned it, Judge, and all the others. It's something. So I think, yeah, it makes a ton of sense to put Rise there.
Culpepper going to third, and Lee with a tag. So Bohm took a chance. Yeah, the Phillies are a good base running team overall. Yeah, testing the rookie right there. And Culpepper, I wonder if he makes that same read if that's a veteran shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, number one job when you're on the base is know where the fielders are positioned. They know if he's right behind you, know if he's going to have to go to his right. With a right-handed hitter up, unless he just read this ball as not being hit very hard, thinking he could make it. With one out, running to an out at third base there, taking a runner out of scoring position, not how you'd want to play it. A mistake I'm sure he knows he made.
This one cued to third base, and Brooks Lee makes the play. Nice job by Connor Prelup, Kalen Culpepper, the rookies, combining for a scoreless fourth.
Fresh, feel good.
Royce Lewis leads off the bottom of the fourth, and earlier today I talked to Royce about the whole experience down in Iowa, and he told me that one of the coolest parts was getting to talk with all of the baseball legends that were on hand. And one conversation that really stood out was one he had with Albert Pujols. He said that Pujols told him that he's really proud of how Royce has never given up and how he keeps fighting, but also that it looks like he's having fun and he's just being himself. Royce said, first of all, it's pretty cool that he even knew who I was, but the fact that he could recognize that I'm having fun, that I'm out there being myself, is really awesome. He said, you could talk numbers, and somebody of that stature, somebody who has had the career that he has, you can talk baseball all day long, but for him to be able to see that Royce is having fun is important, because that's what Royce has been saying has been key to this turnaround in the second half, that he's back to being himself, really enjoying the game, trusting himself up at the plate. So he said that was a really special conversation, guys.
Audra, thanks. Yeah, Royce retired in one pitch here, but in the month of August, hitting .380, 2 homers, 6 doubles. Not that last at bat, but even a good chunk of his outs are hard hit.
Yeah, loud
balls in play,
hard contact. It's funny because talking to some guys that haven't seen him play recently, and then you watch that step back and you go, oh, what's he doing there? And then you realize how much it's led to him feeling comfortable at the plate. And it's a lot of moving parts, and it added a lot to his swing of timing and everything else, but it's unlocked something that's allowed him to be free up there and enjoy the game, because when he's enjoying the game, he's usually doing pretty well.
Out to left and shallow. And Josh Bell flies out to Sosa. And there are 2 down for Keyshaw.
So, Corey, you are a broadcaster extraordinary. You're really good at what you do. How would you describe Blaze?
I feel like I'm walking into a place that I've known these people my whole life.
Now the birthday boy, Luke Keyshaw, 24 years old today.
It's really hard to do what he did as a young player, to struggle the way he did out of the gate and then just be climbing that hill the rest of the way, and he's really got himself out of it.
Another base hit the other way. So Kershaw the wide turn. He'll stay at first base and a 2-out single. Yeah, the hits keep on piling up for Kershaw. The average on base percentage, Morty, that's been climbing now since early July.
A hard contact, staying within the zone, knowing who he is as a hitter. He's just continuing to learn these pitchers on the other side. So many reasons to continue to be optimistic about this young man. Happy birthday, 2 hits so far. I'm sure he'd love a couple more and a W.
Yeah, how about even a birthday cycle? Come on here. Lee up the middle, that's a base hit. Kershaw should go first to third, and he will to third base. He's going to try and score. The relay throw coming in towards the plate. He slides, and he is safe. Lee to second base, and for now, this is a 1-1 game.
Well, this send happened here because the throw came in towards second base. Brooks Lee took a good hard turn. Kershaw off on contact. Borrego with 2 outs. And they are going to take a look at it. Not sure it's going to hold up.
So Mazda manager's challenge here from Don Mattingly inside the Phillies third base dugout.
So watch what happens here as Kershaw's going. This should give us a good look. He decides on his own, I'm going first to third, 100% on this ball. But the bare hand throw to the cutoff man towards second base is, I think, the reason why Borrego was aggressive with that send, and then hard to score runs against Luzardo. Looks like he is going to be out.
I think he's out. I think there's contact with the glove on the left arm of Kershaw just before he got to the plate.
But the thought is, you come up throwing like you were trying to throw him out to the cutoff man, so Borrego tried, but
after review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner's out. Philadelphia will retain the challenge.
So a close play at the plate and a successful challenge here for the Phillies. And Philadelphia maintains a 1-0 lead after 4. Now the bang-bang play at the plate, and the Phillies with a successful challenge denying the game-time run from Kershaw. 1-0 Philadelphia. And the man that made the play at the plate, Real Muto, leads off. And a strike on a curveball on Real Muto, drafted by the Marlins back in the 3rd round of 2010. He's been a Philly now for many years. And lines a base hit to left between Culpepper and Martin. And the leadoff man is out for the 2nd time tonight.
He got himself a changeup out over the plate, down towards the end of the bat. Kept that barrel in the zone, and through the zone long enough to get himself a hit out of it. You see him release that top hand as he realized he's fooled about halfway through that swing, but it will lengthen his swing out.
Derek Hill struck out looking in the 2nd. Going bunt and pulled it back, and did that get him on the right hand?
I'm going to say he swung. They checked down to first. So he said he did offer at it, even though it did hit him in the hand. There's going to be no way they can challenge this. Don Mattingly understands that he can't challenge it after the appeal down to first base from the home plate umpire. Ow. Right off the knuckle.
A member of the training staff coming out to look at the right hand of Hill, so it's an 0-2 count. Watch the feed here from Hill.
He makes contact with this. That front foot is out of the box.
Paul Molitor was managing this Twins team. He thought a replay was in its infancy, that a play out there that he would love to see available to challenge would be just that. If a batter is out of the box on a bunt attempt,
because most of the time they are.
They're
trying
right?
to find some advantage. The feet are
get
moving.
out and make contact and go.
But it's so hard because the home plate umpire is tracking the ball, the catcher, everyone's watching the ball on the way to the plate. You don't notice the feet until after, and then you go, oh, well, maybe he just stepped out of the box after he made contact, and it's not really something you ever see get overturned. And you're right, not challengeable. It is tough to get back in that batter's box after that. I mean, it's sore now, and it's going to get more sore as that game goes along.
0-2 on Derek Hill. And struck him out. And the right hand quickly came off the bat, too, after that swing. So Prelup now has struck out 6 and Hill twice.
He's done his part against this very deep Phillies veteran lineup. Slider's been really good tonight. Curveball, he's also thrown some good ones. And now third time through.
Now, so much was made about Prelup and the innings, and he threw last year in the minor leagues 82 2/3 innings, most in his career. Prelup entering his start tonight in the big leagues alone was at 82 2/3 innings. But as Schwarber out to shallow center, Buxton coming in. He'll get there for out number 2. But this is the most that Prelup has ever thrown when you combine not just the big league innings, but the minor league innings in St. Paul. And how to get this man to the finish line. And here he is, giving him an extra day, if not days, any chance they can.
And I think Shelty talked about it before the Iowa trip about Kendry Rojas and getting him stretched out back again as a starter in September. Do they add another starter in the rotation potentially, or does it turn into a piggyback type situation as they get to add 2 more players to the roster? But I think you mentioned the low number of innings, everything else. That's part of the reason why I have optimism is he's going to continue to get better as well. He hasn't spent nearly as much time as almost every pitcher who's going to have a challenge here.
Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. Did Prelup just clip the outside corner? Did not.
Ball. Minnesota has 1 challenge remaining.
So 2-0 on Turner and 3/10 of an inch.
So even though he is relatively inexperienced as far as pitching goes, that gives me a lot of reason for optimism that he's just going to continue to get better. Because it is somewhat surprising with how good his slider is, especially against righties, that he actually is a reverse splits guy. Lefties have hit him better than the righties. But he's a guy I think is just going to continue to get better and better.
Trey Turner 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Now the 3-1 from Prelup, and that slider misses low. A second walk for Prelup tonight. And here comes Bryce Harper, who was 1 for 2 here in a 1-run game in the 5th inning. Mr. Consistent over his great career with the Nationals and now the Phillies.
This is unbelievable.
Remarkable.
I mean, for all the pressure he's had on him from the time he was about 15 years old, the career he has put together. Choosing Philly, one of the harder places to play if you're not having success as a player. That was where he said he wanted to go. The intensity he figured was going to fuel him, and he's had some great postseasons for him as well.
Phillies back-to-back National League Eastern Division champions. They've made the playoffs the last 4 years. Turner at first, Real Muto at second. 2 balls and no strikes on Bryce Harper. And a strike, and now Harper will challenge.
50 strike. Batter's challenge.
Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. Outside corner, called the strike, and it missed.
Pitches the ball. Wow. Philadelphia has 2 challenges remaining.
So 3-0, close, and Harper successful.
Now what do you do? Is he green? Is he comfortable? Is he confident he's going to get a fastball here?
That's the second 4-pitch walk from Prelup here tonight, and probably a mound visit for Pete Mackey approaching as Arise is coming up with the bases loaded here in the 5th inning.
From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins.
So to talk about Harper and his consistency, do you have him as a Hall of Famer to this point?
I do.
That was easier than I thought.
I do.
I think I do too. Regular season numbers, postseason numbers, switch of positions. The faces of the game.
He posts up. I mean, he plays.
Plays, and he's been very good.
Yep.
All right. Well, I thought we might have a debate up here, but
sorry.
Just bring up runners in score position again.
Well, here's the spot right now.
This is it. This is why you have him hitting fourth behind these guys for traffic, his approach, his ability to make contact. You know, he's highly unlikely he's going to strike out in this situation, so that ball's going to be moving forward.
It's more walks than strikeouts here this season. And look at the batting average by zone for Luis Arise this season. Man, that's a whole lot of red.
The down and in blue, and then the down and in even further red. Throw a strike in there, but then throw a ball below it, and he'll hit it.
2-0.
And see, this is sitting at the game the other day, watching with Marty, and saying, why does he do that? Why does he just stand there? Well, he's forcing you to get back in the count. He runs deep counts. He sees a ton of pitches. It's very similar to what Joe used to do. The more pitches you see, the more information you have, and the more you force that pitcher to throw the ball over the plate and in the zone. And you don't want to swing at that pitch 2-0 anyway. But now you give yourself another look at his fastball.
It's not uncommon during his time with the Twins. Arise on the road would bring his bat to his hotel room, sleep with it, even take some swings off a pillow, especially during COVID. And now 3-1. And that's ball 4, and the Phillies add to their lead. Third straight walk, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia.
And see, this is something that he's in uncharted territory as far as innings pitched. At this point in the season, everything that's gone on, you wonder as he goes deeper into these starts, does fatigue play a factor? Is it something, he's learning something every time he goes out there, or is it just a blip in an inning in a game where he has thrown the ball very well? Is it also an adjustment from these Phillies hitters? Third time through the order, and understanding that he relies on Chase a lot with that slider, have they forced him to get in the zone?
Alec Bohm, 2 hard swings against Prelup tonight. Good pitch there at 97, strike 1. 2 doubles for Bohm off Prelup. 4 walks for Connor tonight, matching a season and career high. It's also the second time in 3 starts he's walked 4 in Seattle on August 1st. And now here tonight. One and one. Twins bullpen quiet. Bases full of Phillies.
And it looks like these Phillies hitters are paying attention one after another. Just shrink the zone. Understand that he's had some misses. Sit back and wait for your pitch. And he got one there. And you go back to it right here. Try and get him to swing over the top of it. Go with your best offering. See if you can miss a bat here.
The 2-2. Line to center field and a base hit. Turner scores. Harper will stop at third base, and it's 3-0 Philadelphia on the 3rd hit tonight from Alec Bohm. and drives in a 64th run.
I mean, this team is built to win. This team is built to make a deep run in the playoffs. And with a lineup like this, just one guy after another making you work. He decided to go with that fastball. Not testing Buck's arm out there, only able to get one in on that play.
On the ground, left side, base hit left field. And 2 more runs will score. Harper, a riser in. Edmundo Sosa with a 2-out, 2-run single. It's now 5-0 here in the 5th.
Well, you figure leadoff single. Hill bunted it off his finger, was able to get the strikeout, and maybe he caught a break there, and then just unable to control the zone. Just one batter after another. Force him to throw it over and then taking advantage of a couple of pitches within the zone. Good effort by Brooks Lee, just unable to wrangle that ball. Now you got to leave it right here.
Stop the 9th Philly to bat. What is for now a 4-run inning. So after 3 straight walks, back-to-back run-scoring hits. Twins bullpen now is moving. Cody Funderburg warming up in the pen. Drilled to right, down the line, deep in the corner, and that ball carrying, and that ball is gone. Off the pole, and a home run for Bryson Stott. A 3-run shot. It is now 8-0 Philadelphia.
A lot of Philly fans here made the trip, I'm guessing, to Iowa and then up here to Minnesota, liking what they're seeing. This thing unraveled in a hurry. 3rd time through the order, these Phillies hitters really made an adjustment. This one just a hang and break a ball, and he was able to somehow keep fair, hit it right off that foul pole.
The 8 runs allowed by Prelup is a career high. The city began with a JT Realmuto single, a 32-pitch 5th inning. 0-2 on the Philadelphia catcher. Buxton out in right center, and the inning is finally over, but the Phillies bat 10 and score 7.
.com.
Phillies on top 8-0, and more runs supported than some right now for Jesus Luzardo. 6 strikeouts, and no surprise, Morty 4 coming with his sweeper.
Yeah, we talked about at the beginning, one of the best pitches in all of baseball, one of the most valuable pitches, and it's been good. Twins had a couple opportunities, leadoff double with 1 out in the 2nd, and then he got nasty. He just pounded the zone and then was able to get that chase.
He struck out 12 last time out against Toronto. He has 12 double-digit strikeout games since the beginning of 2025. And that is tied for the most in baseball with Jacob Misiorowski and Tarek Skubal. That is elite company.
As good as he gets. I knew this was going to be a tough matchup, but he threw the ball very well through 4 innings. Just all of a sudden lost the feel for the zone. in the 5th, and the Phillies were able to recognize that. I think that's something about a veteran lineup and guys paying attention as the game's going along. All right, it looks like he's having trouble finding the zone. It looks like he's having trouble landing this pitch or get this pitch over, and they just went up there, one guy after another, and just said, I'm going to shrink the zone. I'm going to make him throw it over. Man, there's another one. Another strikeout on a sweeper.
Seven pitchers with a strikeout per 9 innings of 11 or better. That's a 30% strikeout rate for the season. League average around 22%.
Yeah, bullpen numbers from a starter who's just able to go deep into games.
Kalen Culpepper grounded out to third base in the 3rd. 3 for 18 to begin his big league career. That's pulled to left field, and there's a base hit. And Culpepper on his way to second base, and Sosa's throw is cut off by Turner. So Culpepper has a 1-out double here in the 5th inning.
He was thinking 2 out of the box. Sosa was playing deep, cut across the track. Surprised to not see him set his feet to make this throw. Kind of threw it almost like a middle infielder or a shortstop, running away from the play. Culpepper making this call on his own. There's that point when you're about a 1/3 of the way past first base, and you look up and you go, oh, am I going to beat that? That ball's already on the way. You just hope it's offline, especially when you're down by 8.
His first career big league double. Twins have 5 hits, 3 of the 5 hits doubles, including one from this man to begin the game.
He got the hard one out of the way, the homer first, and now filling up the rest of those columns.
Caught.
Good base running
by Stott at third base, and Culpepper back in safely at second.
You know, sometimes you get out there and as a young player, you're overly excited, happy about that first career double, take an extra step or 2 off the base, and you get doubled off on a play like this, which can't happen when you're down by 8. That ball's going to be in the corner. You're going to score anyway, but Culpepper played that right. Nice play by Stott.
Stott moved over from second to third base. Luis Arias was traded over. Arias playing second base. That moved Harper out to right field. Mentioned Stott was playing second. Alec Bohm, he went from third to first. And the Phillies, since they made those moves, have graded out better defensively because they've been at the bottom with the Twins in a few key defensive categories.
Say it again. It's just that pitch is so nasty. You know he's going to throw it. You know you're going to get it at some point in your at bat, and we're still seeing these hitters chase below the zone and swing and miss on it.
Out to left center, and Derek Hill makes the catch, and a double from Culpepper. Twins still nothing yet, down 8. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. Behind that 7-run 5th inning. Phillies now with a commanding 8-0 lead. Connor Prelip's night is over. Cody Funderburk takes over. And since the All-Star break, awesome numbers for Funderburk. 13 games, ERA is under 1. 16 strikeouts over his last 13 2/3 innings. Hill, Schwarber, and Turner. Do you read anything into just the National League's dominance this year against the American League, just in interleague play?
pretty good teams in the National League. It's the best I can come up with.
Well, you're not the best color man in the business for nothing. Those broadcasting schools are really paying off.
Oh, man.
Just low 2-2. I mean, the Twins are not alone. I mean, this has been common all year. The Twins 13-24 against the National League this season. And a hole and a base hit for Derek Hill. Now 1 for 3 here tonight. And the leadoff man is on yet again. And here comes Schwarber, 0 for 3 tonight. Let's take a look at our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. And how about this up and down year for the Phillies? Rob Thompson was let go as Phillies manager in late April. Don Mattingly took over after a 9-19 start. Great May, even better June, fell off a bit in July, but here they are again, playing well in the month of August.
Now that I've had a batter and a half to think about it.
Okay.
I still have nothing, but
okay.
It used to make a whole lot more sense to me when American League teams went to National League parks and you lost your designated hitter. You either lost a good hitter from your lineup or you had to put him in. It was probably compromised defensively. But now it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, other than you've got the Brewers, who have the most wins in baseball. The Dodgers have been one of the best teams all year. Look at, there's some really high-end elite teams that there is in the American League as well. You just have more teams kind of right around that middle in the American League. But so to answer your question again, no, I still don't have an answer. But other than there's some elite talent in the National League, but
Philadelphia right now just based on tiebreaker, and Schwarber's going to challenge. But for now is a strikeout and out number 1. Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. Looked like a pitch right on the corner, and Schwarber is out. The pitch there from Funderburk. Another strikeout for Cody, and 1 away. But Philadelphia right now would not make the playoffs as the 3rd wild card team, currently tied with Arizona. They still have 1 more series left to play, but Arizona won 2 out of 3 against the Phillies earlier in the year, so they have the tiebreaker for the time being. Turner 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. Left side past Lee. And Hill down to second. And Trey Turner has a 1-out single, and the Phillies keep the pressure on.
Another good effort from Brooks Lee on this ground ball. A sweeper that stayed in the middle part of the zone.
So now Harper, he's been on twice. A thought I have too about why the American League hasn't been as successful against the National League. I think there are some disappointing teams in the American League in terms of elite players, all-star, MVP caliber players that have not had the same season that they had as recently as last year. Seattle, not the same team. Cal Raleigh, numbers nowhere near what they were. Toronto, Vlad Jr., nowhere near the numbers he put up last year. And outside of Yordan Alvarez, I mean, Houston hasn't. They've been up and down, and Houston right now is in first place, 3 games over 500 atop the American League West.
But the fact that there's not really anybody in the West that's 10, 12 games over. Yeah, there has been. And then you think of the
to the right side, and Kryler going to second, and Culpepper hangs on.
You say that you think of the up and down season that the Red Sox have had, even kind of crazier as far as the win percentage goes than what we showed you for the Phillies. And it's not only who you play, but when you play them. And over a course of a full season, all that stuff's going to play out eventually how it is. But the start that the Red Sox got off to, and now they've been hot. It's just really hard. I mean, it's the game of baseball. It's hard to put your finger on any one reason why, but everyone kind of more in the middle in the American League.
Arise pops it up. Left field and shallow. 3 Twins converge. It'll be Austin Martin across the foul line. And a scoreless inning for Cody Funderburg.
Not the itch.
Indeed, scoreboard watching is happening here this late in the season. White Sox and Tigers earlier today. Colson Montgomery on the sidewall down the right field line, scoring Andrew Benintendi in the third. With the White Sox a 2-1 lead. Later a 3-3 game that Benintendi did it himself. Out into left field. And with that, the White Sox won again in Detroit 4-3. The White Sox maintain first place atop the AL Central at 64-58 with a 4-3 win over the Tigers, who are 3 games under, 60-63, the same record as the Twins. Currently, Twins are down 8. Ryan Jeffers, no balls and 2 strikes. The Guardians have dropped 8 of 10.
Now that I've had a whole lot more time to think about it.
Okay.
I think the other point is, if you think of the elite free agents that have come up in the last couple of years and the big trades that have made, a lot of those players have shifted to the National League, and American League hasn't. Those teams haven't changed to the American League as much.
Pulled to left down the line in the corner. That ball is foul. Nice catch. Great catch.
One hand on the beer. Pass it to the kid. There you go.
That's a good play right there. And a friend for life and a fan for life right there. Hand up. Right hand. No problem. Right, left hand beer, right hand baseball.
Somebody buy that man a beer. Where's Plouffe?
Wasn't Plouffe like handing out like $20 bills or something? Okay.
Should see what happens when Dad's not here to take care of us.
What's going on here? That young man, Bryce Harper jersey, you bet. Get a picture of that. Bryce Harper fan. Why is that a dad? One and 2 on Ryan Jeffers. For 2 tonight. It's the one that the Twins have been swinging at often tonight. They're not alone. That's one that many go after when facing Luzardo. Andrew Morris warming up in the bullpen. That one is fair. That ball will find the left field corner. And Ryan Jeffers had some good contact that entire at bat. Able to keep that one fair. And the Twins have another double off Luzardo here tonight.
Just love the fight, love the battle. The guy who was back there catching. Twins have played defense for most of this game with some long innings. Jeffers just continued to put together a tremendous season. Not a ton of chase, take his walks, and then battle his way through an at-bat till he gets something to hit.
Twins have 6 hits, now 4 doubles. And here is Royce. Hammers one to left, to the track, to the wall, and that ball is in play off the top of the wall. Jeffers will score. Royce makes second base, and the Twins are on the board. Back-to-back doubles. It's 8-1.
This is a little bad luck on a well-hit ball. Looked like it had just a little bit of topspin and hit the top of the wall and kicked back in. think they are going to ask for a boundary play here. Did this hit the wall or did it hit the cement right behind it?
It's the top of the wall.
Hold on.
This is going to be a crew chief challenge.
This will be a crew chief review to determine if it was a home run or not.
Andy Fletcher, third base umpire, the crew chief of tonight's quartet. Royce and Arise looking at the replay on the video board. Thought it was off the top of the wall. As they take a look, replay operation command center, bay number 6. As the crew in Midtown Manhattan gathers to take a look at this play. Rule the double. You be the judge.
And whether it hits the top of the wall or that cement. See, it hits the wall and then kicks off that cement. Another great job by the announcer, but I'm 99% sure it has to clear all of that, even though if it hits that cement behind the padding, that's still considered part of the wall, and it hit that and came back in. I think this will stay as a double, but definitely worth a look.
Flower beds, those home run territory there. There's that little slice of concrete though between the padding and the flowers.
Like I said, there's just a little bad luck. I mean, that ball goes in half inch further, that's a homer.
Tell you what, that last shot though we had atop the concrete, we can't confirm it's finally dry.
After review, the call on the field stands. The ball remained alive and in play. The crew chief reviews it is no loss of challenge.
Key point there from Andy Fletcher. It's not a dugout challenge or a manager's challenge, so that has no impact on the Twins. Challenging or viewable play. There's the dry concrete, Morty. It's happened.
So then it should have flown out of here.
20th double for Royce Lewis. And nobody out. And here's Josh Bell.
Well, it'd be nice to, though the odds are kind of stacked against you, to get in that bullpen a little bit here. Maybe run that pitch count up, score a couple more runs.
That foul ball sounded like it, and it was 0-2. Bell has reached base safely in 17 consecutive games. Nothing yet tonight. Slicing foul and out of play. Luzardo was born in Peru but raised in Florida. Parkland, Florida. Loved the Marlins growing up. His favorite player was Juan Pierre. Or Pierre's number as a kid. That jersey cheering on some really good Marlins teams. Bell out to left center field. Sosa on the run, angling over, and will track it down. Royce will stay put at second base. So one down, and here comes Luke Keyshaw. Want to create your own Twins sign? You can with Big Fan Signs, available right here at Target Field. Go to bigfansigns.com to get started. Create your sign in minutes right from your phone and have it delivered right to your seat. It's that easy to express your fandom. Get started right now, bigfansigns.com.
You know what's better than 2 hits on your birthday?
3.
There you go.
And that's how your jersey should look, right? I mean, on your birthday at the ballpark in the big leagues. Back in safely, close. Rise creeping behind. And we holding up play, watching it live. It looked like Royce was back in safely. 1-1. Keyshaw today, 2 for 2. Morty a double in the second and a single in the fourth.
Yeah, both to the opposite field, both driven well. First one over Harper's head, and the second one split the gap.
Look at that jersey. Nice.
That happened on a single that Brooks Lee hit while Keyshaw was on first, and aggressive send from Ramon Borrego with 2 outs. Keyshaw by about 6 inches at home plate.
Got him. Fastball running in at 98. And there are 2 down.
Nearly unhittable in that location. That velocity, especially with that back foot slider that or sweeper that he throws.
8 strikeouts for Luzardo.
That's the first one on a fastball.
One ball, 1 strike on Brooks Lee, 1 for 2 tonight. Lost on Thursday night 7-1, trailing 8-1 tonight. Six-pitch inning so far for Luzardo. From his bullpen quiet. Here comes pitch number 95 tonight. On the ground, left side. And that's Bryson Stott cutting across at third base. Inning over. Twins do score. They leave one. It's 8-1.
You asked for it.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. 8-1. Phillies have the lead. 7th inning. With Justin Morneau, Audra Martin, Corey Provis tonight. The Dick Kramer TV booth. Rick Palermo producing, Matt Loxonen directing our fine television show tonight. Award-winning Twins TV team, Andrew Morris, has the 7th inning. The Twins down by 7. Alec Bohm, 3 for 3, 2 doubles, a single, an RBI, and a run.
Well, interesting to see Morris in this situation, down by 7, facing the middle of the lineup. Got to match up, got to get some innings somewhere. And Adams having come in the game in Iowa, even though there was an off day, was extended in that outing. A long guy, so trying to find a way to get these last 9 outs here. Sometimes you would think about saving a guy to not let those other guys see him if you have the lead tomorrow. But at this point, I think you're just trying to get through this game and finish this thing off.
I don't think this is something the Twins do unless they have Jeff Hoffman, unless they have A.J. Minter acquiring those 2 arms either at or before the deadline to just lengthen
to
the leverage guys.
7, 8, 9 covered tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he can pitch back-to-back days. Not saying that he wouldn't be available. I'm thinking more along the lines of the less times you see a guy, the harder it is to hit him. So if you need him come in to face Bohm with the bases loaded, and you're up by a couple tomorrow. Now he's familiar with them in some ways. He's seen it, but his stuff is so elite. I think whether you see him 1 or 2 at bats, I'm not sure it's going to make that big of a difference.
Will play for Keyshaw. Twins playing game number 124 tonight, and this young man on the mound has been one of the better stories individually with his team all year. A very exciting future for the rookie Andrew Morris. There to go, Bohm. Oh, Buxton. He overran that ball, kind of
caught a little spike, I think.
Yeah, his feet got caught up there for a bit, but that's a 4-hit game for Bohm. And Byron kind of checking the landing spot and appears to be okay.
So I think this ball was hit down towards the end of the bat, and what Buck was saying, that ball looked like it kicked back, so I'm guessing it had some spin, and then as it hit the grass, it kicked back towards him, and he kind of had to, it was down towards the end. And see if this should give us a look here. It's slicing towards the gap as it hits it. See that ball check back. A lesser athlete, that ball probably rolls all the way to the wall, but with his athleticism, now you're just more concerned about that misstep, and that'd probably be a good test for that hip, being his second game back.
Shelty was asked, I think, a good question in his office before the game about Byron tonight playing his first home game since late July. If they have a set plan with how Byron is going to play here, how often he'll play moving forward. Day game tomorrow after a night game, and 3 straight here against Atlanta. And Shelty said, look, at this point, no, but he will talk with Byron. That conversation was going to happen before the game tonight. As they try to map it out, we'll see what the Twins do offensively, maybe in the next inning. And then with the day game coming up tomorrow, see if Shelty gets Buck off of his feet here the rest of the game tonight.
And this time of the year is so hard for a player because a lot of it's open communication, and you're going to go on how that player tells you he feels, how his body feels, and as opposed to just telling him he's got the day off. But it's so hard this time of year when the manager comes up and say, hey, how you doing? 99% of the time you're going to say, yeah, I'm good to go. Put me out there, even if you're not feeling great, because you realize in mid-August, very few players who play every day are going to feel good. There's going to be something nagging, something that get hit by a pitch, something happen along the way.
To right, and Luke Keyshaw retires Sosa. So 1 down. 8-1 Philly. Are you ready, kids? Well, Target Field is turning into Bikini Bottom on Saturday, August 29th for SpongeBob Day. Jump into the fun with a special ticket package featuring a co-branded Patrick Star Twins jersey and a chance to meet SpongeBob and Patrick Star. Make a splash. You get your tickets now at twins.com/SpongeBob. One ball, one strike on Bryson's stop. 3-run homer of Connor Prelup out of a 7-run 5th inning. Beautiful shot. Sun setting.
Score doesn't
Phillies
match
here
the
tonight.
Score doesn't match the night. Like we've had a phenomenal summer to start walks, weather-wise. A lot of great days here, a lot of good baseball as well. Just unfortunate, nice Saturday night crowd that our second straight 8-1 ball game.
Great turnout here tonight. And part of the beauty of this new look schedule, interleague play, is that a team like the Phillies and their star power, they will be at Target Field every other year. More star power coming to the ballpark beginning on Monday, Atlanta.
This is a tough stretch for the Twins in this part of the schedule, and then on the road to San Diego to face another very good team.
San Diego swept Milwaukee. 3-game series earlier in the week. Milwaukee right now playing the Dodgers. Oh, 2 on Real Muto. 1 for 2 with a sac fly, RBI, and a run scored here tonight. And Morris with a cutter strikes out the veteran Phillies catcher. 2 down. Gets away from Jeffers, and the runners move up. Home to third, Stott down to second.
Waiting to hear official scoring on this one, whether it's going to be a wild pitch or a pass ball. It will be a wild pitch for those of you scoring at home.
.22 pitches for Andrew Morris. And behind Hill, 2 balls and no strikes. Out to center, and Byron barely has to move. Inning over. Phillies lead 2. Time to stretch as the Phillies lead by 7.
Twins down 8-1 as we look at our Toyota game summary. This was a 1-0 ball game until the 5th, and that's when Philly sent 10 to the plate. Scored 7 runs on 3 walks, 3 singles, and a home run. Jesus Luzardo has been sharp again tonight. Just 1 run on 7 hits, 8 strikeouts in the 6 innings so far. The only real blemish, back-to-back doubles from Ryan Jeffers and Royce Lewis to get the Twins on the board in the 6th, guys.
Audra, thank you. Ryan Kreidler. 2 balls and no strikes. Kreidler, Culpepper, and Martin. All right, 0 for 2 tonight. 2 strikeouts, 1 for 10 so far on this homestand. Asking Ryan before the game about, pairing up with Kalen Culpepper up the middle here tonight. And he said, yeah, we did it a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 games in St. Paul earlier this season. Culpepper at short, Kreidler at second base. There's a 4-pitch walk, and Kreidler is on. So I asked Ryan about, all right, pairing up here now, how much conversation do you have with him about, movement and footwork and what have you? He said, we'll certainly talk when we go out and take ground balls. I want to see how he makes his turns. But in terms of dealing with hypotheticals about where to be on certain balls, the stoppage in play here as Alex Tosi behind the plate is going to bring over the crew chief Andy Fletcher. Something up with the mound here.
Issue with the mound, I believe, is what it was. We're going to request the ground crew to come out. Luzardo, who's been dialed in for most of the night.
But I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, Morty. What Ryan was telling me is that in terms of talking plays through, he said, I'm not a big believer in hypotheticals. And he said, I learned that when I was with the Tigers from Jonathan Scope. We had a chance to watch here in 2019. And even a guy like Javier Baez, we'll go over some things, but in terms of where to be on certain plays, you've got to see it, you've got to do it. And if you guys, and if we as a team don't do it right or do it well, we'll certainly break it down probably after the game, either with video and certainly conversation. But not leaning on hypotheticals and just kind of saying, I don't want to overload your brain by saying if the ball goes here, I'll be here. If you go here, I'll go here. I could see why that could be pretty overwhelming.
The sayings, the game is a great teacher. is a kind of a good way to look at it of, okay, until you have this play happen, it's hard to know exactly how you're going to react and where you should be. And I think it's funny because it's kind of the opposite of what Correa talks about. Correa always said, I've got like 11 different scenarios that I've gone through in my head before that ball's hit. If it's in here, I'm going to do this and all that. So it's different. Whatever frees you up, I think whatever allows you to be the most athletic and to be just kind of a natural out there helps. So I think it's kind of tough because in a lot of ways you want to go through that pre-pitch and you want to be prepared. Like we saw it in the game in Kansas City with the play to Royce at the end of the game, ended up being a walk-off. Twins brought the extra infielder in. Those who remember that ball to his left, he stepped on the bag and then looked to throw, and it's almost impossible to go over every single different scenario that could possibly happen. So it's a hard thing. For me, I was kind of the other way. I wanted to think of, okay, if it's hit to my left, I'm doing this. If it's hit to my right, I'm doing this. If I have to go in, I'm going to do this, just so that it allowed me to be freed up and be more athletic when the ball was actually hit. But you're right to try and have 8 different things in your head before the ball's hit, and then sometimes it could delay that reaction. It could delay your ability to make that play, as opposed to, okay, which one is this? And you're spending time going through your memory trying to think of what you're supposed to do with that ball. So I think it's been shown across the game of baseball that there's not one way to do it. And I think time kind of teaches you that. If you believe that this is the way I need to do it to be successful, then it's going to give me a chance. But yes, interesting to hear Kreidler's take on it a completely opposite way than a lot of people think of it.
Yeah, the work on the mound is wrapping up. Jesus Luzardo about to throw pitch number 100 here tonight, and the All-Star has been up to the billing here tonight. Pitched himself into some trouble early, but had that sweeper going, and with that, the Twins really never had a chance to put up a crooked number too often tonight.
Yeah, he had 107 strikeouts on that pitch alone coming into this game, and he has executed it, and then he's used his changeup when he's needed to. He's used his fastball very effectively, but those at-bats early in the game put some high pressure, high stress at-bats, and he was able to execute pitch after pitch. This is a tough matchup.
Culpepper 1 for 2 as play resumes, and fastball runs in at 95.
Somewhat surprised to see him come back out here. 95 pitches, 8-1 game. I know they have 9 outs left to get, but I wonder if that was a conversation or if it was never a conversation that he wanted to have. He was just automatically thinking he's going back out there.
Alex McFarland, righty, in the bullpen. 1-2.
I hate it when they do this. Culpepper called timeout to try and give himself a little more time. Luzardo never left the rubber.
And strikes out Culpepper, and he will challenge, and he will be wrong. That'll be the 9th strikeout for Luzardo. Automated balls and strikes.
That might be a fight from your teammates. They talked about full ball. Different teams are doing different things to try and make it fun, but also hold each other accountable. No idea what the Twins are doing, but around the game of baseball, it is something that lineups and are doing with each other, just to say, hey, quit wasting our challenges. Not saying that was, but that's one he'll look at and go, okay, I got to adjust, recalibrate.
Well, Luzardo now has struck out every Twin but one, at least one time tonight.
Josh Bell, the only one.
That's for the Danimal, who is keeping score at home. This will tie a season high pitches thrown for Luzardo. And 106. Also 106 pitches in Miami on June 16th. Martin is 1 for 3. Foul ball.
Got knee or shin? Ow. Oh. Like hit the kneecap and then just rolled down the leg in front of the shin. No thanks.
Popped up on the infield, and Luis Ariz retires Martin. And there are 2 down, and Byron will bat for himself. His 4th plate appearance coming up, 0 for 2 with a walk.
I'll say I'd be shocked if Tom Mattingly lets him face him a 4th time here with that pitch count where it is, with the score where it is, with a reliever ready to go. So that'll get us to the break.
So Luzardo departs, and McFarland coming in. 8-1 pitching change here at Target Field.
Home field advantage.
Big crowd on this beautiful Saturday evening. Phillies have a commanding 8-1 lead here in the 7th. Hoping to see a rally. Young man has the rally cap on. Alex McFarland, a rookie, top 20 prospect in the Phillies system. He's on to throw, facing Byron Buxton.
Gotta love it. You got 8-1 with 2 outs in the 8th, and you get a guy coming in throwing 100 from that lower arm slot. Sinker, sweeper to the righties, occasional slider.
Former starter McFarland, drafted in 2022 out of the University of Miami. Was on their 40-man roster. Was on their 40-man roster to start the year. Fastball velocity ticked up when he moved to the pen. .6'3", 215. Alex McFarland. Kreidler at first. And the 1-1. At 100, but outside. That's ball 2. Top of the order coming up for the Phillies in the 8th. Schwarber, Turner, and Harper.
Just everyday reliever just coming in, throwing 100.
Nasty break on that sweeper. And McFarland strikes out Buxton. 7-run. Phillies lead after 7.
Taco Bell.
Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule, brought to you by Progressive. One more to go against the Phillies, and it's Dean Kramer getting the start in tomorrow's finale. Then interleague action continues his 3-game visit from the Atlanta Braves before the Twins head to the West Coast. We'll see the Padres and the A's out there in California, guys.
Audra, thanks. Boy, that stretch beginning on the 28th. White Sox, Tigers, then the Twins go 2 Chicago and 2 Detroit. Be about 2 straight weeks of the Tigers and the White Sox. Massive games, but Twins have to play some better baseball here before those series begin, and the schedule is tough. A.J. Minter facing Kyle Schwarber. Former Met, saw the Phillies 4 times this season head-to-head. We'll see them again here tonight with the Twins down 7.
Schwarber 1 for 14 in his career. He's seen Minter plenty.
Twins and Phillies wrapped up the season. We were there in Philadelphia last year. And the Phillies already clinched a playoff spot. But don't you remember a big storyline? Would Schwarber be back? He was a free agent. Would Real Muto be back? He was a free agent. And sure enough, both guys returned to Philadelphia. 1-2 on Schwarber.
There was a lot of talk about, is this an aging core and everything else, and I think the thing that didn't get highlighted enough is the fact that they were missing Wheeler for the postseason. I mean, Wheeler, one of the most dominant pitchers over the last 10 years.
Out to left, Martin over, hustling, and no plays. That one just lands.
And a wind blowing in from right. You wonder if that helped push that foul off of Schwarber, the lefty's bat. But I think last year and this year, true, legitimate World Series contender with Sanchez, with
Luzardo, Wheeler.
The depth in the rotation, with the depth in the lineup, with superstars across the roster. I mean, there's a lot of, so you figure, all right, if we're, may as well keep committing to it and keep this group together, give them another run at it.
Twilight time. Brooks Lee with room. And Schwarber 0 for 5 tonight.
Well, you figure if you keep Schwarber 0 for 5, you're going to give yourself a chance, but the depth in this lineup hasn't allowed that to happen.
One away for Trey Turner. Ow. And Turner down in a hurry. And immediately see a member of the athletic training staff, Tom Mattingly, going to take a look at the all-star shortstop.
Back knee. Top of the back knee.
See that too often, do you? You don't see that too often.
Back
right?
knee?
Contact off the back knee?
No. I think he did it the same at bat, hit the front knee and the back knee. But yeah, pretty rare. Got out there a little quick.
Turner is coming out of this game.
It's like Crawford's going to be the pinch hitter. I think the score maybe having some influence on it as well. Don't push it at this point.
Now Justin Crawford, son of Carl Crawford, outstanding career for many years in Tampa Bay. Entered the year as the third best prospect to the Phillies system and a top 100 prospect in the game. First round pick out of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas back in 2022. Takes over the at bat and finds Brooks Lee at third base. And there are 2 down.
When pests show up uninvited, Plunkett's knocks them out of the park with trusted professional care. From first visit to long-term prevention, get Plunkett's today.
So 2 up, 2 down. And now Bryce Harper. He's now reached base safely in 19 straight games. He's been on twice tonight. And make it 3 times. his second hit. And a walk in the 5th. And a 2-out single for Harper off Minter.
Well, that'll be the end of Harper's night as well. 2 opposite field hits off of lefties. Harper also faced Minter a ton of times without a ton of success, but was able to mix in a base hit.
So Harper's night is over, as Morty mentioned, and Brian De La Cruz comes in to pinch run with a 2-time MVP. And here is Arise. He's got a 1-year deal with the Giants, hit over .320 with the Giants, traded to the Phillies at the deadline. He was adamant this offseason that he wanted to play second base. So I'll play some first base with the Padres, but he said, I want to play second base. And with that, his free agency lingered a bit longer before signing with the Giants. And he was playing and has been playing a good second base defensively this season.
His numbers way up compared to where they were the year before.
Look at those numbers. Look at that company. Gwynn, Boggs, Puckett, Guerrero, Arise. Highest career average since 1980 with a minimum 4,000 plate appearances.
It was funny before, all the players got some time on the Field of Dreams on the movie site field, and Arise was out there walking around with Duran and Joe and Mauer, and Arise had a conversation. I looked, I said, you got 3, he's got 3, and Arise had a little smile on his face, like, let's see if I can get one more.
Minter got in on Arise, and he pops it up. And Kryler squeezes it to end the inning. So a scoreless 8th inning for A.J. Minter.
See your Twin Cities Hyundai dealer.
8-1 Philadelphia. Mention a birthday for Luke Keyshaw here tonight. Not that man's birthday, but happy birthday to Schulte's wife, Allie. Happy birthday. Hopefully a big rally for your birthday tonight, Allie. Down 7, 6 outs to go. McFarland back out for the Phillies, and Jeffers, Lewis, and Bell coming up.
Rally Alley?
Rally Alley. Phillies change around their defense. We'll get to that here momentarily. McFarland retired Buxton, who on the 7th, and back out for the 8th. And now 2-2 on Jeffers. That was a double in 3 at-bats tonight.
Just sitting up here shaking my head at 100-mile-an-hour sinker, and then a sweeper that he threw bucket at the end of his at-bat for the strikeout. And this is not your high leverage guy late in the ballgame. It's just, I don't know. It's insane to me how good it is, how good the pitching is.
.102 and just outside. And down and inside, ball 4. So Jeffers draws a leadoff walk. Here comes Royce, who is an RBI double tonight. Come sail away with the Twins on Yacht Rock night. Coming up on Friday, August 28th here at Target Field. Catch the smooth sounds of a pregame Yacht Rock cover band. Score a captain's hat with a special ticket package, and stick around for postgame fireworks. Cruise into Target Field. Get your tickets now at twins.com/Yacht Rock. Philadelphia defensively. The new look here in the 8th. Crawford, after batting, is now in center. Derek Hill goes from center to right. De La Cruz in left, Edmundo Sosa from left to short.
Go back to Ryan Jeffers at bat, an 8-1 game. Working that walk right there, laying off a borderline pitch. That's the difference between having a good year and having a great year, is not giving that at bat away. You hear guys talk about it all the time. I don't want to give an at bat away. Royce didn't like that one. I think I agree. We don't see Royce show emotion or disagreement too often. I got a no swing.
Josh Bell with a base hit. That his on-base streak continues. He's now reached base safely in 18 straight. As Jeffers advances down to second.
This is, I know it all bounces out over the course of the season, but this is one of the problems I have with some of the advanced metrics in the game. Jeffers will get docked for not going first to third. It will hurt his base running numbers, but it's 8-1, and if he gets thrown out here, he would get absolutely hammered. It would be a bad play. But because he didn't go first to third, he's going to go as a negative on his base running of not taking that extra base. And I think that's part of the challenge with some of the advanced numbers. I get it. You get a whole season's worth of data, and it should all balance out, but
Keyshaw out to right center field. Over is Crawford. And Jeffers will advance 90 feet here.
And there you go. He makes up for it. Now he took that base, but I don't think you should get hard. You should get impacted negatively for playing the game the right way. You could play it completely selfishly and try and go every single time, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But if he gets thrown out there in an 8-1 game, it's just a bad look and probably a bad baseball decision as you're trying to come back by scoring a whole bunch of runs.
That little teaching nugget you dropped, what, about a month and a half ago, which you heard from Cuddy about when you go first to third on a ball, grass, dirt, grass. That should be first to third. It makes so much sense, but never really thought about it that way until you said it.
I know it seems so simple.
Right?
It's like, oh yeah, okay. It'll probably not going to have a ton of pace if it hits the grass on the infield, even if it's a hard hit ball. But it really is the easiest way to teach it to young players.
1-2 on Brooks Lee. That's a base hit tonight. Jeff Hoffman is warming up. Former All-Star with the Phillies. And strike three, and Twins don't have a challenge. Lee would like to, but Twins are out, and the Twins lead 2. And welcome back. Keep up with every pitch, hit, and home run right here with Twins TV. Stream games throughout Twins territory, live or on demand, and follow your favorite Twins players all the way to the final out. Sign up today at twins.tv for just $34.99 for the rest of the season. 8-1 Philadelphia, 9th inning. Jeff Hoffman, former All-Star with the Phillies, in camp with the Twins in 2023, did not make the team. Ended up with the Phillies. It was not in the big leagues right away. That 2023 season began at AAA Lehigh Valley. Then moved up to the big leagues in early May of 2023, and the rest has been history, as he has just been a dominant bullpen arm now the last couple of seasons. Alec Bohm blasts one out to left center field. Buxton back, and that's off the wall. And Alec Bohm has a 5-hit game. 3 doubles, 2 singles. Bohm 5 for 5 here tonight.
And a lot of Philly fans here appreciating that. 3 doubles, 2 singles. hat tip.
First career 5-hit game. One of the rare homegrown Phillies in this lineup.
I wonder if that's a 1-1 or game if Buck attempts to run that down, crashes into the wall. Part of the maturation of him in the outfield, understanding that odds of coming back in this game are pretty slim, and it's more important for him to be able to suit up tomorrow and play. Not sure if he would have had it, but if anybody could catch it, it would be that guy playing center field.
What do you make of Buck still being in this game and with the day game coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, you wonder if it's going to be you leave him out here to build him back up and give him the day off tomorrow, or if he was given the option, hey, you want to come out? And I wonder if he said, no, not a good look, and I want to stay out there, or if it wasn't even a conversation that happened. But it's a tough call for a manager, I think, sometimes, of when do you start pulling the regulars out of the lineup. On the other side, Harper came out of that game. You wonder if he was going to come out late to give him some time off his feet anyway, having that he's transitioned to the outfield recently.
Especially at home, though, too, don't you think? At home.
Also wonder maybe if he wants potentially to have another at-bat, see if he can get his timing back after missing a few weeks.
That's going to stay fair, and Jeffers makes the play. Sosa with Bohm advancing down to third.
Does a really good job on this play. Jeffers, textbook. After he picks this up, watch how he just shuffles his feet back towards the middle of the field to give himself an angle on this throw. Come out, pop the helmet off, close to the line, and then right that little shuffle, quick step. So you're not looking at that runner's number right there, and then just give him a good feed. And then Royce playing it properly. Also left foot on the bag. One of the rare times all year we've seen Twins play the infield back with a runner on third base, but score being what it is, you're just trying to get outs here.
Bryson Stott, a 3-run homer in the 5th inning, a 7-run 5th inning. Sosa 2-run single, Stott 3-run homer. Big swings for the Phillies. It's a 1-0 game at that point. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Should Bohm, homegrown, as is Bryson Stott, both first-round picks in consecutive drafts. Bohm 2018, Stott 2019. And there's a 4-pitch walk. Pitchers have walked 6 Philadelphia hitters tonight. 8 strikeouts, 6 walks. Real Muto with an RBI tonight. He's 1 for 3. Muto caught Jeff Hoffman during his All-Star season in 2024. Day game here tomorrow. To wrap up this series, Dean Kramer's been great so far. 2 starts as a Twin. And rookie righty Andrew Painter for the Phillies. An ERA over 6. Hoffman's 3-1. Realmuto to left on a line. Martin back. He'll make the catch. Bohm tags and scores. And the Phillies lead by 8. Second RBI tonight. Second sac fly for Realmuto. 9-1. Chase Sugart. Kevin has been able to provide some length and multi-inning work for the Phillies. We'll need that tonight, but he is warming up. Fly ball right field, and will be caught by Keyshaw, inning over. Bottom 9 when we come back. All Phillies here in Game 2.
497-5426.
Bottom 9, Twins trailing 9-1. This telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
9-1. Phillies have the lead. And Chase Sugart will take over here. Last chance here for the Twins. Sugart debut with the Red Sox in 2024. Pittsburgh last year, now Philadelphia this year. Kreidler 0 for 2 with a walk. Upanor Twins postgame is coming up with the great Marty Gellner, Timmy Launder, Roger Barton. As soon as we are done here, we'll hear from Derek Shelton. Some clubhouse reaction. All coming up on the Upanor Twins postgame show here momentarily. Phillies have outscored the Twins 16-2 so far head-to-head these first 2 games. And Kreidler strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. The Twins struck out 12 times as a team on Thursday. There's now 13 strikeouts here tonight. Garrett Stubbs now catching for Realmuto. There's Kalen Culpepper, 1 for 3.
So these are the kind of at-bats, like I said, Jeffers at-bat, the ones that you consider kind of giving away, being mentally locked in, down 9-1, bottom 9. This can be the difference between a good day and a good week of finding your way on base here. You kind of stack those together, and at the end of the year, you end up with some of those career years or great seasons.
Pitch is called the ball. Catcher's challenge.
Stubbs will challenge. Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. Inside corner, it was there.
Pitch is strike.
Wow. Phillies maintain their final challenge. A loss here tonight, and the Twins will drop to 4 games under 500. Last time they were there was when they were 49-53 back on July 21st. After that loss, they turned things around, winning 5 out of 6. Ball, 2 strikes on Kalen Culpepper. Line to left center field and a 2-hit night. So a guy that had 3 hits over his first 5 big league games has 2 alone tonight.
Well, his bat was a large reason why he forced his way up here. starting to get a little more comfortable, I think, at the big league level. He has the ability to impact the baseball. Above average bat speed. Could do a lot of things. Well, he's just continuing to learn as he's gotten here.
Phillies not holding Culpepper on. Strike one on Martin. Martin began the game with a leadoff double. Luzardo struck out Buxton, Jeffers, and Lewis 3 in a row.
You mentioned at the top, Luzardo has not allowed a first inning run all year. It looked like that was going to be a pretty good opportunity. A good opportunity for the Twins to play with the lead, which has been somewhat rare to start a game, at least since the All-Star break.
Twins tonight 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That sinker nasty came back outside corner, and there are 2 down. Day game here tomorrow. We start at 12:30 here on Twins TV. Veteran against a rookie, Dean Kramer, and the rookie righty Andrew Painter, top prospect in the Phillies system entering the year. A trying year, ERA over 6. Be the matchup here to wrap up this series. Yeah, but 1 for 18. The Twins runners in scoring position in this series so far. Those numbers have been going down here for the team since the All-Star break.
It's a very hard way to continue to score runs. You need to be able to pop that 3-run homer every once in a while just to take the pressure off your offense in those high leverage spots. We saw it from Luzardo in the beginning, the first inning. He found another gear and immediately went to the nasty stuff. Twins weren't able to score.
Also, the starting pitching has been in a rut here for a little bit as well. We haven't really seen too many quality starts. And Buxton draws a 4-pitch walk. And Ryan Jeffers will have a 5th plate appearance tonight. 2 on and 2 out.
I mentioned he kind of had that, I wouldn't call it a day saving, but just cementing a good day at bat. His last time up, working that walk, laid off a very close pitch. Now he's got another one. Just to stay mentally engaged, 100 and however many games in, 123 games, 124 now for the Twins. He's caught all night, trying to work his pitchers through. Now he's taking that 5th plate appearance, down by 8. These are the ones where if Gardy walked up to me in the dugout and there was an option or the thought in my head of to come up and go, you want this at bat? And most of the time I would just say no, because I knew as soon as if I rolled over, I should have just taken it. Or not taken the at bat, but if Jeffers can find his way out of this 0-2 hole.
Now the 1-2 from Sugar. And Jeffers softly out to right, and Derek Hill makes the catch, and the Phillies back-to-back commanding wins over the Twins Thursday night in Iowa and here tonight at Target Field. A 5-hit game from Alec Bohm and a 3-run homer from Bryson Stott, not to mention 9 strikeouts from Jesus Luzardo, and the Phillies win big. For Justin Morneau, Audra Martin, Corey Probus saying so long for now. Upanor Twins postgame with Marty and Tim is next here on Twins TV.